June 2018 marks the date a seismic scandal rocked the Catholic Church when ex-Cardinal Theodore McCarrick was outed as a predator who abused seminarians and minors. With the seminary abuse crisis thrust open into public view, bishops proven to have known McCarrick's open secret for decades claimed that they were shocked or forgot the abuse reports that crossed their desks. Church leaders who flooded the media with pledges of never again are yet again standing silent as the number of clerics still in ministry after facing allegations of sexually exploiting seminarians continues to soar. In New Orleans, Archbishop Gregory Amen still shepherds Louisiana Catholics, despite complaints alleging that he abused multiple male victims at Notre Dame Seminary. Much like in the case of McCarrick, who infamously filled the bed of his Newark beach house with seminarians and teenage boys, reports surfaced in 2021 that Amen molested male victims in his apartment and that a housekeeper had to, quote, clean his sheets of semen following visits from young men in his bedroom. These graphic details, supported by accounts of other alleged victims, have yet to impel church leaders to remove him from his post. Los Angeles Cardinal Roger Mahony remains a prince of the church more than 3 years after a lawsuit was filed in 2021 alleging that he molested a 17-year-old male. Mahony is accused of oral copulation and repeatedly groping and fondling the alleged victim's genital area in a rectory bathroom at St. Vibiana's Cathedral as another cleric stood guard at the door and eagerly watched. According to Los Angeles-based victims advocates, this case joins 3 other credible sex abuse accusations against Mahony. The Archdiocese of Omaha, Nebraska, and the Diocese of Orange, California, continue to be headed by Archbishop George Lucas and Bishop Kevin Vaughn, 2 prelates who, together with former North American College Seminary Rector Father Peter Harmon, are credibly accused of attending a homosexual orgy in Springfield, Illinois, where participants engaged in anal sex in the presence of seminarians. A highly credentialed former FBI special agent in charge confirms in sworn testimony that he reviewed descriptive details supporting the credible allegations, including, quote, dimensions and specific descriptions, end of quote, of implicated clerics' intimate body parts. The sworn testimony also describes the Springfield in Illinois Diocese's ongoing scheme to protect the accused clerics' careers and bury the disturbing allegations. Like Lucas and Vaughn, who are counting on the Vatican for cover, convicted abuser Bishop Gustavo Zanchetta was awarded a Vatican post by Pope Francis after allegations were reported that Zanchetta committed aggravated continual sexual abuse of 2 seminarians. Of more than 150 credibly accused bishops, only 8 have been laicized. Despite bishops' claims that seminarians no longer need fear abusers like McCarrick, a growing number of seminaries make headlines as hotbeds of abuse where alleged perpetrators go unpunished. An investigative report, Summer of Shame 2021, spotlights how just 3 years after the McCarrick revelations, many of the same bishops who apologized for McCarrick's abuses were caught covering up serial sexual predation by seminary leaders at the Pontifical North American College in Rome. Just as it was discovered among the bishops that everyone knew McCarrick was abusing seminarians, so too did scores of churchmen know and keep silent as former Vice Rector Father Adam Park sexually harassed seminarians and former Rector Father Peter Harmon retaliated against seminarians who objected to Park's advances. Although Park and Harmon fell from their posts at the NAC after credible evidence of their misconduct was exposed in the media, their ordinaries, Cardinal Wilton Gregory and Bishop Thomas Paprocki, have yet to remove them from ministry. Park and Harmon are defendants in a major ongoing sex abuse lawsuit in New York court. In the Washington Archdiocese, St. John Paul II Seminary is overseen by Father Carter Griffin, who, like Park, was ordained by McCarrick and faces seminarian sexual harassment allegations. While the seminarian reported Griffin to U.S. Nuncio Cardinal Christophe Pierre in 2019, church officials still have not removed Griffin as rector and failed to investigate the complaints. Griffin joins his counterpart at St. John's Seminary in Camarillo, California, Father Marco Durazzo, who likewise remains rector of a seminary, despite reports to Los Angeles Archbishop Jose Gomez that Durazzo sexually propositioned seminarians and dismissed those who rejected his advances. Bishop Barry Nestout is keeping his post as head of the Diocese of Richmond, Virginia, despite accusations from a Baltimore transitional deacon that Nestout, along with accused predator Bishop Michael Bransfield, was present at McCarrick's Newark beach house on the night McCarrick sexually assaulted him. Nestout failed to act upon the abuse the deacon experienced and has since made headlines for punishing clergy who spoke out against the McCarrick cover-ups. Bishops who portray sex abuses and cover-ups as a thing of the past are disproven by the rise in cases where abused seminarians are forced to turn to the legal system for justice after church leaders buried their reports. A recent lawsuit against the Brooklyn Diocese maintains that church officials ignored graphic reports from former seminarian Timothy Passo that he was sexually assaulted in 2021 by his novice master, Father Michael Callahan. According to the lawsuit, these assaults include an incident where Callahan pushed Passo against the wall and began gyrating and grinding on him from behind. Church leaders who received the complaints ousted Passo, the alleged victim, and not Callahan, the reported predator. Independent evidence reveals that Callahan downloaded and solicited sex on a gay dating app, Grindr, where he advertised that he embraces all races and ethnicities and welcomes duos, that is, when an escort is willing to serve two clients of the same sex, usually male, at once. A newly filed lawsuit by Joshua Metcalf against the Ukrainian Eparchy of Stamford and Father Mikhailo Dosyak alleges that Dosyak sexually harassed him beginning in 2020 when he was living in his rectory. Metcalf maintains that Dosyak also boasted of his sexual conquest with other priests and sent him lewd text messages such as one dated December 27, 2020 at 7:47 p.m. stating, quote, "It's a question what I will be doing during the night. Have to look for some kovasa, a word which refers to a large penis." Dosyak reportedly advised Metcalf that he had the potential to become a bishop if he, quote, played the church's political games well and were able to keep secrets. Metcalf recounts that he nearly took his own life, owing to the betrayal he experienced by the church and Bishop Paul Kromnicki, who covered up the abuse and failed to discipline Dosyak. Dosyak continues to serve as pastor of Rhode Island's St. Michael the Archangel Ukrainian Catholic Church. Harmon, Park, Griffin, Durazzo, Callahan, and Dosyak join a growing list of clergy members named in a 2021 seminary abuse investigatory report who have yet to be disciplined after facing sexual misconduct and cover-up accusations spanning more than 40 seminaries and dioceses. While the report was sent to every U.S. ordinary, the U.S. Apostolic Nuncio, and Knights of Columbus leadership, church leaders continue to assign many of these clerics to seminaries, parishes, and schools while the faithful are kept in the dark about their reported sexual pasts. In a church where the Holy Father could keep his throne without denying accusations that he himself sexually abused seminarians, victims' advocates observe that there is no one left in the hierarchy who will stand up for seminarians. Seminary abuse experts are pointing to an ongoing sex abuse lawsuit against New York Cardinal Timothy Dolan and North American College seminary leaders as, quote, the last chance of seminarians to secure protections which are unavailable to them within the church, given the overwhelming graphic evidence against the defendants and the more than 30 prelates who covered for them. As priestly vocations continue to plunge and good seminarians are discarded by superiors who are preying on rather than praying for vocations, more and more faithful Catholics are left to question who will save our seminarians. Anyone wishing to support seminarians who are victims of abuses and cover-ups is invited to contribute to the Save Our Seminarians Fund at the link below.